look at your credits, just some of them, Godfather, Serpico, Dog Day Afternoon, Scarface, that great line. Do that line. The great line.
Every day above ground is a good day.
No,
that's an Oliver Stone line.
My little friend.
Oh, say hello to my little friend. Yes, yes.
Say hello to my little friend.
Yes, my little son told me that. He said, someone said to him, "What's that line your dad says? Say hello to my little." It's a catchy
When you
phrase.
take an accent like that, Cuban accent, do you keep it the night you go home for dinner too?
You sort of get involved in it, and yeah, it becomes a part of your fabric. It becomes a part of your life. But even after the movie is over, you're still a little bit in it. Your frame is, you know. It was interesting because it was a relief for me to come home. And I was lucky enough I had fallen in love during Scarface. I had fallen in love. Doing that 10, 12 hours a day, and then coming home and listening to my girlfriend's problems in her day would take me out of what I was doing all the and because it's like you don't talk much when you're doing something like that afterward. You're not in, you've it's almost tantamount to being a fighter, like a boxer, right, who's in the ring. He doesn't fight much afterward. He doesn't go out and get into a brawl in a bar. Usually, it's because it's what we do. And doing Scarface every day for 12, 14 hours a day, kind of, I want to hear other people's issues and their problems. Scarface was written, people don't realize this, by Oliver Stone, and directed by Brian De Palma, produced by Martin Bregman. But Oliver Stone wrote that text. So when you say hello to my little friend, I think of Oliver.
When you see your films, are you very self-critical?
No, I stopped being that long ago. It doesn't serve, let the others be, because I'm going to have enough critics without it being myself. So what I look for is where the actor is working, where it's working, what I can do about it. I don't like seeing movies when I can do nothing about them.
Who put this thing together? Me! That's who! Who do I trust? Me!
But it got universally wrapped.
Oh, yeah, it did, yeah.
Yet it's a cult, right? Everyone talks about it.
Well, it's probably, yeah, I would say it's the most successful movie I made. And for me, yeah.
You mean in dollars taken in?
Yeah. It's really, and it's been that way it's gotten all this, and it's across the board. When I go to Europe, when I go around, that's the picture they
You ever turned down a role you regretted?
Let me see. Yeah, I did.
Without embarrassing the actor, what did you
I don't want to embarrass anybody. That's the problem, because, you mention a role you turned down, and but I realized about this role that that I could have, when I first read it, I said, no, I'm not right for it. But later, when I saw it, and when I saw a comic, I gave it away now. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
It was a comedy.
I saw somebody doing something in a club, and I suddenly saw what I would want to do with this part.
Lenny.
And what happened with this that was a great performance by Dustin Hoffman. It was a great performance. It was amazing.
I know it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart.
Godfather 1 and 2 may be the best movies ever made. Many consider that now, ranked with Citizen Kane.
Wow. I know.
Did you like Michael Corleone?
I loved him. I love the people I play. I love that's like saying to a painter when he paints a painting that how could you paint this painting of whoever? Do you don't feel as though you don't do that. You always are looking at the metaphor. You're always looking at what the character is, what is the deeper, what is being said about our life and our world to this character. you know, and one can make the argument that Michael Corleone, why did the audience like him? Because it was couched in a drama, so it had a different, it comes at you differently. It comes out of the drama.
Do you agree Godfather is about a family, basically?
Well, that's what I mean about this. That was the thing that turned people on so much of the first one. I remember I was there, and you know, the reaction was so universal across the board. Had a lot to do with family, the family structure, and people related to it. You didn't have to be an Italian American, or you just related to the whole family dynamic.
When he goes into the bathroom, gets the gun, and comes out and shoots the cop, was it your idea to throw the gun in the air?
I guess it just happened.
Very effective.
I think.
You tossed it and out.
Yeah, it had that, the way it was like, I'm sure it was in the script. I can't remember that far back, but it's sort of, yeah, I think it was in the script. Yeah.
Well, we're all over the board tonight because I'm just so happy to have you.
I'm just so glad to be here.
I'm going everywhere with you.
Yeah,
do you ever watch...
Want to stay here tonight?
Do you ever watch other movies and say, I would have liked to have played that?
No.
No?
No. As far as I can see, any part that anyone's doing, I couldn't do. So I just look at it and say, you know, because I look at all parts, movies, as an audience looks at it.
You do?
Yeah, it's like going to a baseball game or something. You watch them, the pitcher pitch the ball, a hitter hit it. You just, you know, you don't want to go out there and do it yourself.
But you're
you know
a viewer at a film?
I am.
Your own craft?
Yeah, I don't see it that way.
And you don't cry.
You know, there's no crying in baseball.
Don't cry.
Yeah. And I'm inclined to agree with that, but...
They know when he or she is missing the mark.
I can't tell you anything more than it just felt right. And I mean, now I'm in big trouble. But I
start training now.
Yeah!
Yeah, thank you. Well, we're humble guys, Larry.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
So, you...
Godfather is a term that was used by his friends, one of affection, one of respect.
Michael, wasn't enough time.
We'll get there, Pop. We'll get there.
In my home, in my bedroom where my wife sleeps.
I know it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart.
Working with Brando, what was that like for a young guy?
Well, when you think of growing up with the image of Brando as your sort of source of inspiration, because I remember seeing him in a movie when I was 16, and I went into this movie house, and I saw On the Waterfront. I was alone. And I had seen A Member of the Wedding came first with Julie Harris, Ethel Waters. It was a great movie. She was great in it. But it was, you know, and then I saw this movie. And those days, these are two features, two movies. So I'm sitting there, and this movie comes on the Waterfront. And I'm just, you know, I'm just locked, because it had the great Kazan directing it. It's over, and I just sat there, did not move. Sat through the whole Member of the Wedding movie again, just to see Waterfront again. So that's how it impacted me. And it was a, you know, today when you tell young people today about it, the response isn't quite the same, but you have to understand, this was in that period, it was a revelation. It was a breakthrough. his acting on screen was different than anything we'd all seen. So it was playing with him in the movie.
What was
I'll
that
get to
like?
that answer. It was a little
Nervous?
a little unnerving, and you don't know. And Marlon would play that a little bit. He was
Playful.
yeah, but he was so good to me. He was so sensitive to the condition because I was in a precarious condition, to say the least, because they were going to let me go, I think.
They were going to let you go.
Yeah. They had made a mistake.
They thought you were wrong for Michael.
Well, they did, yeah. Because I started out slow. And that was my plan. My plan was to do Michael Corleone slow and discover it. He discovers who he is in this thing, in a way. He really doesn't know who he is by the end of the picture. He can be anything. And I wanted to see if I could get to that so that when the moment of whatever comes, we know that this guy, where did he come from? That's what I was trying to get. Because he's kind of a schlep during the thing a little bit. He's here, he's there. We get a sense that he's an independent kind of guy, but he's the kid, he's the kid. And eventually he becomes the Don.
Then I'll kill them both.
And I thought, if you start like this, you got nowhere to go, really. And that impact of that moment of change won't be as strong.
Was it difficult for him?
But you know what kept me was that restaurant scene, you say. When they saw that scene, they kept me in the movie. Because I'd have been gone.
Wow. I never heard-
Even Francis said to me, I had a lot of belief in you when I hired you. I wanted you. I just felt you could do this thing. And now, there you are. You're not cutting it for me, kid. She said, I want you to see some of the rushes. So I said, all right. By that time, I didn't want to be in the movie anymore. I just, you get the feeling you're not wanted, so you don't want to be there.
So you were thinking you might not be in a movie when you did that gunshot scene?
Yeah. But I saw the rushes. I went in and saw what he was talking about. And I looked at the movie and I thought, wow, I don't know. I seem to be doing what I wanted to do. But I'll just pretend like I said, oh, yeah, you're right. I could see it. But I knew I was into something right. But I didn't say anything. But they kept me after the shooting.
Steve Saria, siete finiti.